Hello, and welcome to Your Vote Counts, a public informational nonpartisan service program designed to get you acquainted with the candidates vying for the 2022 primary races of Mayor, Salem City Council, Marin County, and Polk County Commissioners. These interviews come to you through the productions of Capital Community Media. Collaboration on questions and moderators are from the Association of University Women, Salem City Club, League of Women Voters, and the neighborhood associations. All candidates for these races were invited, and all but two decided to attend. Candidates did not receive the 7 questions prepared by the League of Women Voters in advance. Candidates were invited to prepare a 2-minute opening address that looks at their background and qualifications for office, and a 2-minute closing suggesting what they will do if they are in the position. My name is Barbara Sellers-Young, and I'm from the League of Women Voters of Marin and Polk counties. I would like to introduce you to Linda Nishioka. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Welcome, and we look forward to your opening remarks.
Thank you. So I'm running for Ward 2 City Council. I was born in Southern California and moved to Beaverton, Oregon in 1963 with my family. I attended the Oregon Health Sciences Center and received a Bachelor of Science in Dental Hygiene. And at that university is where I met my husband. We've been married for 40 years now. And he's from Salem, and we moved back after his extensive training. We traveled through Texas, Missouri, and Washington State before coming back home. I was a dental assistant, an oral surgery assistant, and dental hygienist and dental hygiene instructor for a course of 29 years. And upon moving to Salem, I began working at Willamette Ear, Nose, and Throat, which is where my husband worked. And I served as a department director, and then other duties became the green team leader, marketing, and other administrative jobs that I was assigned. After 22 years, we've recently retired. So we are now with time to be able to do something like this. I have served on Salem Main Street Association and the Design Committee. I've served as president of Friends of Straub Environmental Center. And I'm currently vice chair of the Downtown Advisory Board. And I served on the City of Salem Historic Planning Committee, Riverfront Committee, and Streetscape Committee.
Thank you, Linda. Lots of people probably are not familiar with what really a city council does and how they serve the city. Could you give us a little idea about what your vision of the city council is and what it should be doing?
Well, so I'm told over and over again that being on the city council was not something on my radar. I'll just start out saying that I was really happy and content, and I'm still happy and content to be on the Downtown Advisory Board. I was looking at applying for other committees and boards, commissions and boards, and was very content until a few people came forward and asked me to consider running. And again, it wasn't on my radar, but I thought, well, if not now, when? So I am happily now running for Ward 2. And I'm told it's a volunteer position. It's an elected volunteer position. And we will, as a group, make recommendations based on city departments coming to us, and then working with the mayor and the city manager, will hopefully get things done for Salem.
Now, you've already had extensive experience, as you noted in your opening remarks, serving on different boards and committees for the city. How do you conceive working with groups of people so that you build collaboration between the council and those boards that you're talking about, and those boards and the neighborhood associations and the divergent groups that exist across the city?
Well, I think that the most important thing is to listen, to hear what people want to try to understand the deeper desire, because sometimes people will come in wanting things and maybe not see a larger picture or understand really what they're trying to achieve. So I would want to understand their perspective and the needs of the entire community. So not just a small group, but then try to understand the needs of all of us, and then bring that to the city council and work with them, building relationship and trust so that we can speak open and honestly and hopefully be able to achieve the goals that we have set forth. Does that answer your question?
It does. Thank you very much for that. The city of Salem has received federal funds specifically to deal with issues having to do with public transportation. What would your way of approaching the use of those funds in order to increase public transportation? And you can think about public transportation very broadly.
Yes, I understand that a transportation plan is going to be upcoming probably when I'm in office. And I'm looking forward to that because I really don't know enough. I just know that we want to try to meet some of the benchmarks that we want for climate action, reducing methane gas and CO2. And so that may be trying to find mass transit that can work, improve our utilities that generate power. But I'm kind of diverging, but as far as transportation, I would like to see less congestion downtown and make sure that our roads and infrastructures are in place to maintain even for longer, because it's been some time since streets, sidewalks have been maintained, or they're working on it, but we need to make sure they're in place. And again, I'm sorry, I don't know that much about all of the transportation issues, so it will certainly be something that I'll want to look forward to work on.
You mentioned in talking about transportation, climate in general, and Salem has a climate action plan now. What do you think are the most pivotal components of that plan that we need to address as we move forward into, which will probably maybe be a new style of living or a new style of working with the environment?
Yes, I know that cities and states globally, we're all trying to improve our climate so that we can continue to survive for a longer period of time. From what I've understood, based on information, and again, I'm not in a lot of the meetings, I haven't been in the meetings, but there are a few actionable items that can be done fairly soon. And it's my impression that they're already indicating, when I say they, the city council, mayor, are working with the city departments to begin outlining what needs to be done to have those become effective. I think the rest of them, I believe there's 180, so there's a lot, I think are going to need to have some long view in the sense of trying to get them to work, because it's easy to say we're going to get rid of natural gas, but there's a lot of people that rely on it. And to try to say you have to remove all of your natural gas appliances, that will be rather tough. So it may have to come from manufacturing and encouraging the slow change of not having those appliances available anymore. So I think, again, there's going to be some actionable items that are available to make changes now, but there's going to be several that will take some time to develop, and working with other people, businesses in general.
When you think of climate change in your own life, how do you think it impacts you? I mean, what do you think of the impacts going to be in terms of just running your own household?
So I will use I'm a master recycler, and I developed a recycling program for clean medical waste at our office. And it was great. And it was wonderful training everybody and getting the janitors and everyone on board so that we could participate in this. And then as recycling, the buyers of recycled material stopped, we had to discontinue the plan. And so I feel like, as each of us know, we can't put everything we thought we could in our recycling bin. So again, this isn't necessarily climate action in the sense of the big things, but what happens is we try or we make efforts, and then due to other problems such as buyers for these kind of wastes, or could be utilities companies, things change, and then what you've been trying to do is difficult. I was out of power when we had our ice storm last year. I had no way to have, I have a flat roof. I can't put solar panels on that would collect much energy, but I did put in a gas generator, a natural gas generator. So it's just like, no, don't take away my gas now, because if there's another ice storm, I need it. So it will be hard. It will be hard, and it will be hard for individuals, and it will be hard for businesses. And so we do need to find ways to support people and educate people, because as I said, it can change. You know, we stop having gas stovetops, and then we might have trouble making sure we have enough solar power heating all the electricity at the right time. So there might be changes that we have to do, such as, okay, we have to power down the house at a certain time of day, or, you know, you find that you have to change your lifestyle. Am I ready for it? It would be a learning curve. Well, others, it'll be a learning curve. But I feel that if we really stress on people that it is so critical, we can make those changes. But it's going to need to take a lot of people, not just each individual. It'll take businesses and communities and cities and states, which we're trying that. So yeah, I really like my gas stove. I will get rid of it if I have to, but I really like it for right now. Does that help you?
Yeah, it does. I appreciate it. One of the major issues that has been part of the public discourse in the last several years in Salem has been homelessness.
Yes. And
the question is, how would you solve the problem?
Oh, well, I think we're making headway. Recently, having received money from state, and I know the council and the city government are looking at trying to find properties. Right now, the biggest problem is finding those properties for the micro shelters, transitional facilities, and it's a struggle because, as people say, I don't want it near me. You know, so it's a challenge. We need to accept that we have a lot of homeless, and we need to respect them and try to help them. And so I feel that we need to continue on the course that's already taking place with finding locations for low barrier transitional facilities, to make sure we've got the social services in place to help them with their addictions, their mental health, and have service managed care facilities 24 hours a day, so that they have support and they can then create their own environments. And hopefully, this is another big thing we need to make sure we have, is continued connectivity. It's easy to say, we're going to put you in a micro shelter and we're going to transition you. But if those individuals or families don't have continued support, they can easily fall back. And so I think it's really important to make sure that we have the social services and continued services, whether that be caseworkers or just a community of people that continue on for their care. That's going to be critical in making sure we don't have them fall back into homelessness, and probably even people that are on the edge not falling into homelessness. I care a lot about making sure that women and families and children have safe environment and they know that they are protected.
Thank you for that. What do you think about the parks in the city? Do we have enough? Are they well maintained enough? Do they do what they need to do for us?
That's probably going to be one of my big issues. And again, I understand that parks are going to be up on the agenda probably in 2023. And so, yes, in my closing remarks, I'm going to talk about, I love our parks. They're so fabulous. And I really want to make sure that we keep them maintained. I'd like to see them I'd like to see more. I'd like to see more green space, places that we as citizens get to visit, but even tourists can come to. I'd like to have our lovely Salem be like Park Central. I think we need to make sure we have pathways and bikeways that can connect to the different parks. And I do think others strongly believe this. And I love our tree canopy, and I want to make sure that we maintain that and maybe even increase it, because that will help that climate action. So yes, parks are really important to me. I'm a runner and I run all the time in our parks, and I use them and I love them. And I can't imagine not having them.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you for answering all our questions.
You're welcome. In fact, I feel like I wasn't as prepared as I should be, but again, don't get to know them ahead, and I still have so much to learn.
Well, as do we all. Do you have some closing remarks that you'd like to share with us?
So, because we've kind of touched on some of them, so my closing remarks were basically going to be that we continue on with what is taking place now, finding new shelters, new sites for our homeless, making sure that we have all the social services, medical, dental, and mental health care available. And again, really helping those that are on the edge so that they don't fall into homelessness. I want to see our parks. I want to see our parks be beautiful. I want to improve the vibrancy of downtown. I would love to see Salem be a spot that people want to come and visit. And I do support responsible development so that we can grow. We are growing, and we do need to find space for us to continue to grow and develop responsibly for the long term.
Thank you, Linda. Those were very informative comments. I also want to thank Capital Community Media for their extensive technology and producer skills used to create this program. And thank you to the League of Women Voters of Marion and Polk counties for the design and preparation of the program, and to AAUW, Salem City Club, for help with question development. Primarily thanks to you, the public, for watching in order to become an informed voter. For more local, state, and national voter information on candidates and ballot issues, you can visit vote411.org. You will have until April 26th to register to vote or make changes to your registration. Ballots go out on April 27th, and according to a new law, those ballots will be accepted if postmarked before or on the day of May 17th. Elections matter, and your vote counts. Thank you.